Alright, hey guys, welcome back. I hope everybody has been having a good day. Um, that was our first session of the day. We've only got 3 sessions, so we're already a third of the way done for today. But you guys know the drill. We've got a short 10-minute break here. Feel free to say hi. Let me know what you guys are studying, and let me know how that last session was out of 10 for you. We got 10 minutes, or 9.5 minutes to take a break. Probably give that one like a 7 out of 10. I was just reviewing some old flashcards. And then I'm gonna do a neuroscience lecture for today. And that's probably it for me today. Pretty tired, long day, so we're just gonna keep it light. But yeah, feel free to say hi. Let me know what you guys are studying. How many Anki cards I have left for today? I have I'm gonna be behind for sure. I have, I think, close to 300. Let me see here. Yeah, roughly about 300 review left, but I'm kind of behind with lectures, so I want to get at least one lecture done. So I'll just be a little bit more behind on review and start catching up on review tomorrow. What about you, Amrit? Oh, I feel like the 700 Anki isn't terrible. The week behind hurts. But hey, I mean, you caught up before. You could probably do it again. Makes sense. Yeah, I just slowed down on research. I was actually at the office until like late Tuesday night. Tuesday was crazy. Yesterday was Tuesday? Yeah, it was nuts. I didn't really sleep the night before. I just couldn't fall asleep. So I got 3 hours of sleep, and then I went to my morning. I had an exam, a clinical skills exam in the morning. So I took that at like 8 a.m. and then I went to the lab for like 2 hours, and then I came back, and then I had anatomy. So that took like like a lab dissection. That was my last dissection of M1. So I'm done dissecting. I got one more like anatomy handoff, so the other team that's dissecting will present tomorrow, and then I'll be done until my anatomy practical. And then I thought I was really tired at that point, but I was like, okay, let me just do a couple more hours of research. At that point, it was like 5 or 6 o'clock, I think, and then that 2 hours of research turned into like 5. So I left the children's hospital around like 10 p.m., I think. Hey, artists. Thank you, appreciate it. It was okay. The proctor was for that clinical exam, proctor was a little annoying, but this patient was fine. So as long as I pass, that's all that matters for that, and I'm still waiting to hear back my score, but thank you. Yeah, I'm on tonight. I need to get a little bit of work done as well. So, yeah. I think my schedule is going to be... I'm trying to get these last few day streams in before I potentially go nocturnal for like 2 weeks. Oof, I'm right. That's like... okay, but that's the thing. How do you operate, dude? Like, I got 3 hours of sleep Monday night, and then I got 5 hours of sleep last night, and I am like... like, nothing is sticking in my brain, and it feels counterproductive after a while. But I guess also if you're doing research work and you're not like... I guess it depends on what you're doing. I feel like if you're doing stuff that requires you to be learning or memorizing, then like, I don't know, that sleep deprivation kills me. Brute force work or like research work that I don't have to think too much about, or like I'm not actively memorizing anything, I can do that. Celsius per day because of, yeah, that sounds about right. I relate to that one a little too hard. I'm a white Monster energy drink kind of guy, and it's been really bad. I think my kidneys and me are gonna have beef in a few years. Yeah, seriously. No, I've been thinking that too. Actually, the worst part is like I go to bed at a reasonable hour. It's not like I go to sleep late because I'm like studying. I go to bed like late, and then I guess I go straight from studying to nothing. White Monster, honestly, bro, White Monster. I don't know how they did it so well. I'll get to that in a second because Monsters. I could talk about energy drinks all day. Yeah, for real, you can injuries and it can. Yeah, for real, my creatinine is already cooked as it is. But God, I forgot what I was saying. Man, my memory is so cooked today. But yeah, no, I just haven't been able to fall asleep. I go straight from like doing work or studying, and like even when I'm exhausted, you're laying there, you're like processing information, and you haven't let your mind rest all day. So then you're just laying there for like 3 hours, and then you fall asleep. So that's the part that's killing me. Might just start taking melatonin. I've been trying to avoid using it because I know as soon as I start, I'm not gonna stop. But it's coming to the point where it might be smarter too. But yeah, White Monster, bro. I don't know what it is. The regular one has so much sugar. And like you would think that would be better, but it leaves such a weird aftertaste in your mouth because of the amount of sugar. The white one, I know it's like kind of pumped full of every single chemical known to mankind, but it tastes good. It tastes light and it's still sweet, and it tastes like I think I described it in this chat before as like edible battery acid, but in a good way, like good tasting battery acid, like the battery you licked when you were a kid and you were curious type of battery acid. The IV drip for Monster? Don't tell me they made a Monster energy drink. IV drip. I'm gonna Google it because otherwise if they did, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm also gonna learn how to cannulate myself. Oh no, okay, no, they didn't. Well, oh, caffeine IV drips. Store? Is this what we're talking about here? I'm looking at Monster Energy. Okay. Oh, honestly, I'd have believed it. You would not. That's what I was thinking. Like, wouldn't it just be easier to cannulate myself before these like 9-hour study sessions and just let the saline go in? Put a little electrolyte mix in there, keep the potassium a little bit higher so that the caffeine doesn't stop my heart eventually. Like I probably would. I'd be that crazy at some point. I feel like in residency, once I learn how to stick an IV, I'd just be like, I'm dehydrated, and jam it in there. The banana bags, right? That's what they do for, or that's what the residents do when they're hungover. Reverse banana bag. No, it was good. You could tell my mind gears are very rusty and slow today, so I apologize. That was a good joke. I just went over my head. I'm trying to process anything right now. Yeah, I just came back from some volunteering as well. I was out for out volunteering at a high school for their basketball games. And the basketball playoff games are going off in Michigan right now. I need to service that, but that's also one of the orgs I'm with, is that we go around. We're partnered with a lot of high schools actually, and we just provide medical trainer support. So I went in and I did that today for some service hours, and that was chill. It got really, really crazy towards the end, but it was really tiring because I was just like the whole time waiting for somebody to just like slam into the ground and go fix them up. Luckily, nobody got hurt today. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out too. I'm debating on going nocturnal, honestly, for a few weeks, or like a couple of weeks. But I still have classes in the daytime. My exams and my finals week are all at 9 a.m. So I could go nocturnal and just have 9 a.m. be like towards the end of my day, right? And that way I could just sleep for most of the day and be up all night studying. But at the same time, next week I still have classes. Like Ramadan starts this Saturday. Next week I still have classes at a normal time, so I don't know if it would work all that great. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll probably figure it out on the first day I'm fasting. If I can, what I've done in the past, like when I was studying for the MCAT, what I used to do was I would study for like, I would wake up, I'd go to classes from 9 to 12. I'd come home and I'd sleep from like 1 p.m. to like 5 p.m. And then 6 o'clock I'd get up, I'd do some work, but like, you're tired at that point. And then I'd eat, and then I'd study for like 3-4 more hours after sunset, and then I'd sleep. So it'd be like 4 hours of sleep. And I'd get enough sleep at night, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see if I could do that again, but I'm honestly thinking it might just be more consistent to just go to an overnight schedule for like 2 weeks. Hi, Kimia. Good to see ya. 7 out of 10. Nice finishing assignment. Awesome. Glad to hear. I will keep you all updated. I'll update the schedule for sure once I figure it out, but I have no idea yet. I'm gonna see what my other Muslim colleagues are also doing. Okie dokie, y'all. We are on session 2. We only got 3 for tonight, so we are a third of the way done already. I'm gonna move the camera, and you guys can go ahead and get started. Good luck, everybody. We are on session 2 out of 3. Alexa, change the light to blue. Alexa, change the light to dark blue. Alright, welcome back, y'all. That was session 2, so we've only got one more for the night. We are almost there. Pretty short day today. You guys know the drill. Feel free to say hi if you're just joining in. Let me know what you're studying today, and if you were just studying with me, let me know how that last session was out of 10. I'd probably give that one like an 8 for me. That was pretty productive, I would say so. Yeah, feel free to say hi. We got 9.5 minutes, and then we will start our last session of the night. Nice, Abdulrahman. Yeah, that tends to happen with MCAT prep. I felt like it was really hard to balance with like a full schedule and also do MCAT prep. But hey, as long as you're keeping up and you're just going slow and steady with the MCAT thing, it should be all right. What class lectures were you catching up on? No, I'm just a big fan of U of M. I mean, because even outside of the school, their their football team is like crazy good, right? So, I mean, that's where I went for undergrad, but that's also like also like as a sports fan. Neuropsych, nice. I never took a proper neuropsych class until I think med school. My research was in neuropsych, but I never took a neuropsych class, I think, in undergrad. Same here. I feel ya. Might be better off to get some sleep, especially if you have not been sleeping enough the last couple few days, right? I don't know. Like, how productive can you be when you're like, or how much can you retain when you're genuinely sleep deprived? I wonder. Ah, okay. I gotcha. Dang. That's brutal. Well, at least when it's done, it'll be done. How much you have left on it? Okay, so not too much, hopefully. I feel like once you're in the edits, it's not terrible. 2 hours of work. Okay, never mind. That's still a good chunk. I think it would not be a good idea because I'm imagining you have stuff to do tomorrow too, and you'll just end up cooking. Like, I guess the way I would think about it is if you're gonna have a 16-hour day tomorrow, if you sleep 8 hours, right? You would have a really good productive 16 hours if you were sleep like rested up versus like if you cut out an entire night of sleep, then you basically lost 16 hours of work. Like just mathematically, it's not a good idea, right? But it also just depends on the deadlines and stuff too, I suppose, right? Yeah, jeez. 16-hour study day is insane, by the way. I don't even think we've done a 16-hour study stream on this channel, and I've had some like long study streams here. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. I think I'm right as well. Yeah, because if you got like, especially if you have a 16-hour day tomorrow, you'd rather do it well rested, right? Hey, Ellie, good to see you. How are you? That being said, I'm being hypocritical because I do gotta get up in like, I mean, I should technically be going to bed now, but I'm so behind. Oof, Ellie. Ellie, I wonder, don't like last time I took an exam and I was like super duper sleep deprived. I actually did way worse than like had I just slept more and studied less. Like I genuinely like I dropped my grade like almost 10% off of just pure sleep deprivation. It was nuts. Does it work for you? Like, but I think about back in like undergrad, and there were definitely classes where I could totally like orgo. I would like pull up. I think the longest I've ever studied in a row was I'm trying to remember. There's a day where I neared 20 hours, but that's because like the exam was in 2 days and I pulled an all-nighter before. But like I don't remember if I did well on that exam or not. I think I got cooked on that exam too, and then I was like, it's just better to sleep. Okay. I mean, still, I'm right. 13, 14-hour days are brutal. Yeah, see, like if I had a day tomorrow that was like a 16-hour day and I was also still gonna work out and like take breaks, or like let's say I was gonna stream for 16 hours, I would 100% be making sure I got 8 hours the night before usually. Oh, oh wait, yeah, shoot, you've got a ton of exams going on right now. How are those going all right, Ellie? How are you studying for the last few days? Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, ooh. I never advise an all-nighter, but I feel like if there ever was the time for an all-nighter, that might be it. That might be what ends up happening for my anatomy practical as well. For sure, Amrit. I'm just I'm just saying what works for me and what doesn't work for me either, because I have definitely been lacking on the sleep. And I know that it's probably not smart either. But, I think it's that time of the semester for a lot of folks right now because it is the end of February. A lot of people are having midterms and finals, and everybody's just kind of chugging it out. And then we've got still a few more weeks to go before semesters actually end. Reading wheel. Reading wheel. What's a reading wheel? Oh, okay. We got session 3 now, by the way. So this is our last session of the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera and change the lights and maybe walk around and stretch a little bit for a minute so I don't fall asleep on camera. And here we go. I'm gonna get all that set up. Good luck, everybody. Last session of the night. Push through. Alright, welcome back, y'all. That was our last session of the night, actually. So, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate the support, as always. I'll be here for a few minutes while I'm packing up, but if you need to go, make sure you join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord, and I will probably be on tomorrow evening, hopefully for longer. We'll see. It depends on what time I get out of the lab tomorrow. But yeah, here for a few minutes to chat. Feel free to say hi. Let me know how that last session was out of 10. And if you're just joining in, let me know what you're studying today. Oh no, Amrit. I hopefully will be on, hopefully around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. If not 7, 8 o'clock, but I'll probably be running pretty late tomorrow. I'll try to stay up till 1-ish because I don't have any morning classes on Friday, I don't think. Let me double check my schedule. But it depends on a few things. Yeah, I don't have any morning classes on. Oh, that's a lie. Never mind. Yes, I do. Haha. Why wasn't that popping up in my other schedule? Well, okay, never mind. But I'll still be on tomorrow night, and I'll try to be on for at least like 4 hours. I'll try to be on by 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, probably closer to 8. Alright, bet. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. And I hope you can get some rest tonight as well. Don't stay up too late if you're going to be up all day tomorrow. It'll just be counterproductive. I say as I am currently well past my bedtime. Oh, hey, Black Cat. Oh, no, you're good. I was just saying I'm done for the day, so I'm just here chatting, and we're just talking about schedules. That's really it. I'm just like packing up in the background as well. I think that's good. Am I missing anything? No. Cool. My Pacific Standard Time is off by AM PM. Is it really? Oh shoot. Oh no. Let me double check that I didn't goof that. Let's take a look right quick. Eastern, Alaska, Central, Mountain, PST. Oh, right you are. Huh. My bad. Thank you. I can't believe nobody caught that. I appreciate that. Let me fix that right now. There we go. Okay, that should be better. Yeah, that looks way more accurate now. How did that happen? Did I goof that for the rest too? Oh, I might have. Ugh. Okay, well, I'll fix that at some point. Or now, before I forget, actually. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. No problem. Thank you for letting me know. I can't believe oh, they're all in, what did I do? I must have been super tired when I was making this over winter break. I messed up all of them, didn't I? 7 a.m., yep. I have not made one yet. I would love to make one actually. But my current schedule has me kind of all over the place, as I'm sure you could tell by my demeanor. But yeah, I want to. I honestly, because next year, so right now, I'm finishing M1, assuming I pass my finals for this semester, in a month, and I'll be done with my first year of med school. And then my second year is until from April, so my summer break is 2 weeks. Summer break is 2 weeks. My second year is from April to December, and then I have 3 months to study for step one, which is awesome. It's dedicated step study time. They did that instead of giving us a summer. But and then I'll be like, once I take step one, I'll be on to M3, and I don't know how much or what my schedule will look like at M3, like streaming wise, right? Because obviously I will need to study, but I will be in the hospital a lot more. I don't know how consistent it is, right? So I was thinking by M3 or M4, if I don't get that many study streams up on the channel, I'll probably switch over to vlog type content, which kind of not great because I like I mean, the whole point of this channel is the study streams. But I mean, I could try to mix it up too. I do want to do some like long form videos. I mean, I do, and I apologize if I'm like semi incoherent right now. I'm like fixing the schedule in the background, and I'm also just exhausted today. But I would love to make some videos and like post long form content, and maybe even like figure out how to turn my short form content from comedy into more like, oh, these are all, oopsie. Figure out how to make all my long form content into, or like short form content, or more serious short form content, if that makes sense. I see. Okay, I fixed the schedule, I think. Hopefully, I'll look through it later. Not at 1 in the morning when my brain's not working. But yeah, it's definitely on the list of things I want to do, for sure. I don't think my journey is especially anything like crazy, for the most part, to be honest with you. I think it'd be nice to kind of give others an idea of what a realistic med student kind of looks like. I'm not really anything like insanely special in terms of like med applicants. Or rather, let me put it this way. I think I'm about the average applicant who gets into a few schools, but I didn't get any T1 acceptances. Sorry, I know I'm like incoherently rambling. It is late. Yeah, I think long form content would be fun at some point. That's fair. I mean, don't get me wrong, the suffering is the exact same. You're right, I'm 100% agree with you. Honestly, I'd argue that T2 and T3 suffer way more than T1 because most of the T1 schools know that most of their students are going to pass step one. So they just kind of, like, I've heard there's a couple of med schools. I'm trying to remember, it's not Cornell, but it's out on the east. Was it Columbia? One of those T1 schools on the East Coast currently no longer does exams. They do projects only. And like that's insane to me because I could not imagine having a project only med school because my exit school med school is only exam only. Oh, I mean, yeah, sure, Black Hat, I can give you Oh, T, sorry, T meaning tier. I mean, I could walk you through my my like general app right now if you want. I don't mind doing that. I thought you meant like a longer like why medicine type thing, which I want to do at some point. Um, but no, I mean in terms of yeah, that's true. Our connections are less as well. You're right. I think that's a big disadvantage of T2, tier two or tier three. Right, it's just our connections into like higher residency programs kind of suck. Not suck, so to speak, but it's harder to move up once you're at like a tier two, tier three school. But I mean, step two is a nice equalizer for a lot of things. Um, but yeah, Black Hat. I went to high school. I grew up in Michigan. I've been in Michigan my whole life. I did undergrad at the University of Michigan. If the background didn't give that away. I am not at the University of Michigan for med school. I am elsewhere, which I don't disclose online, just out of safety for myself, obviously. But I'm not too like far away either. I'm still in the state of Michigan. So yeah, I got about 4 or 5 acceptances to med schools. A few in Michigan, and then a couple one or two out of state. I'm trying to remember the exact. So about 4 or 5 acceptances. But so freshman year of college, it was COVID. So all my classes were online and I didn't get any research. And all I did at that year was basically I loaded up on credits. And I took like a bunch of credits, and then I joined like the pre-medical club at U of M, which was good because that was like a great way to network. And I met a lot of folks through that, just even virtually. And I went through a lot of seminars for med school admissions, and I got a really strong idea of like, it was really good. I was very glad. I think that was the best thing I did for myself in undergrad was like attending a bunch of seminars with med school admission adcoms, because it gave me a way better idea of what they were kind of looking for. I don't mind. I'll finish this and then I'll go to bed. I'll brief it real quick. Yeah, so that was one of the big things. I ended up I'll just go year by year with it. End of year 1, I had like a near 4.0 GPA during COVID. It was a lot easier during. Okay, gotcha, cool. I mean, yeah, I don't mind explaining it here real quick, and you can always hit me with questions after. I'll explain it to you because it'll take so long to text over Discord. I'll explain it to you here, and then I'll just log off and call it a day after. Use my last little brain cell here. Hopefully, I mean, talking will also tire me out a little bit too, and then I'll actually go to bed instead of having insomnia, so it's totally cool. Yeah, so finished year 1, decent GPA, wasn't too bad. I didn't take Orgo or anything that year because I knew I don't learn well online. So the only hard courses I took that year were physics and Calc 2. And then I just loaded up on like psych and everything else. The sophomore year was rough. Sophomore year, I took Orgo. Orgo is forever one of my most hated classes, will forever be one of my most hated classes. My major was in a biochem related field. AAAS? I don't know what AAAS is. Sorry. A's. Oh, A's. Ha, bro. Wow, I am so sorry. Yes, you're right. Get A's. I mean, yeah, for the first year, it was a lot of like, just grinding out the GPA. And then second year, I took Orgo. Orgo sucked. And I actually also got really sick that year. And I started having some like migraine issues with some sinus problems. So my GPA tanked pretty hard, especially with Orgo 2. I actually dropped Orgo 2 before the end of the semester, and then I retook it in my junior year. But yes, sophomore year, by the end of freshman year, I actually got into some research I think I've talked about it here on this channel before, but like I was doing neuroscience medicine addiction, specifically with methamphetamine. So we would administer methamphetamines to rat models and in different social paired settings. That's a whole other thing I could get into very, very like in depth. But I was with that lab. PI was awesome. I was right under a PhD student. And she was my mentor for like 3 years roughly. And so, I got to know her really well. I got to know the lab really well. And that was probably the biggest time commitment for me outside of schoolwork was research, which I would very strongly recommend for pre-meds as well, because I think the average right now, according to the AAMC, is 1,200. It's probably closer to 1,300 hours of research now. What else? I was in a couple other health clubs, but most of them fizzled out. Sophomore year, me and a friend, we both used to play tennis a lot, and so we started up a charity in Ann Arbor that would collect funds by running tennis tournaments, and we would donate them out to, we would donate the funds to buy wheelchairs to distribute to homeless folks in the area. Yeah, A's. I realized it too late. I think we've got quite a bit of a time lag here, so, but that's okay. What else? Let me think. So the tennis charity thing, obviously, was volunteering. I was with the pre-med club. Yeah, honestly, it might be on your end. I don't think it's usually about a 30-second delay. I can check on my end as well, just to make sure it's not me. No, yeah, might have to refresh your page. That's usually what happens. Sometimes is it flags behind and it just kills the live, just part of the live stream. But what was I thinking? Or what was I saying? Yeah, so the charity pre-med club, I actually became treasurer for that pre-med club. It's one of I think that was one of my main talking points for med apps too, is I think it might be the biggest or one of the biggest pre-med clubs in the country. There was over 1,000 members in there because U of M's undergrad was 50,000 kids, right? So about 1,000 or 1,200 pre-meds. So I was treasurer for that my sophomore year, and then I became co-president for junior and senior year while I was at U of M. Charity, some other volunteering, nothing insane. Research was a lot of my time. I was looking for clinical experiences that year as well. So while I was taking my coursework, I was looking for a job. I got a scribing job out in a cardiology clinic the first semester, but it didn't work out because the cardiology clinic never ended up opening. And so that company, the scribing company, actually moved me to an emergency room, which is a whole other thing because I actually didn't want to do work in an emergency room at first. And then once I started working there and I got used to it, I was like, oh my God, this is like awesome. I really like acute care now. Like it honestly changed my whole life trajectory. I mean, that 100 research is fine. You just gotta, like, it takes, and I have, by the way, I say 1,200, 1,300, that's the average. I know people who got into my med school with like 0, right? Like, you just have to have somewhere else you shine. When I talk about these numbers, I'm just talking about averages. I think averages are 1,300 hours of research, 600-ish hours of clinicals, 600 hours of volunteering, and then about 100 hours of shadowing or something, 50 to 100 hours of shadowing. But that's just raw numbers, and that doesn't really matter as much as the quality of your experience, you know? Oh, wow, it's 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, I mean, I'll just speed through this as well anyway, and then we can chat after, probably. What else did I do? Obviously, I was taking my classes, was on some other leadership thing during that time. I was playing tennis, working out. I actually included that on my AMC app, was how much I would work out, and I calculated out like the workout hours per week, and that actually came up in one of the interviews, and it was really fun to talk about because I brought it up as like, this is how I balance my life, right? And that helped a lot with the interviews. Was talking about stuff that was personally meaningful to you, like balance. What else? Junior year, I was still like kind of going through health issues in junior year, but I kind of like pushed through. That summer, I was just focused on research. I cranked out a bunch of research, set up a project, started writing some like papers, worked in the ER a bunch. I also traveled that summer, I think, as well. And then junior year, I took Orgo 2 and Biochem in the same semester while also having health issues. And that really, really tanked my GPA, like for real, obviously. I survived. I passed both classes. Not great, but passed them. And then I was also I did a philosophy minor, so I did a bunch of other philosophy courses with it, which were fine. I got surgery that December on my sinuses, which helped a lot. And then the semester after, I chilled out with I was done with all my prereqs, except for PChem. So I took physical chem, and then I took a bunch of stuff for my major, which was like a biochemical major, but like more like, it was technically called biomolecular science, because it was more of a like molecular physics bio approach than it was like an actual like biochem. Just because I was more of a chem physics person, and I've never been a bio person. I hate like bio generally, which is kind of ironic because a lot of what I do now is obviously bio based. I mean, I don't hate bio, I just hate memorizing. Then that semester I took the MCAT. So that semester was insane because that semester I took a full course load, but no major, no orgo, nothing like that. I was working in the research lab like 10 to 20 hours a week. I was prepping for a conference, which took like about a few hours a week. What else was I doing? Working in the ER about 10 hours a week. I was, what what else? Running the charity stuff, which wasn't too bad. And then I was also pre-med, one of the presidents for the pre-med club at that time, which was like maybe 5 hours a week of work. And the rest of the time I would just study for MCAT. It got really bad because obviously nobody can do all that continuously. And then Ramadan hit at the end of that semester when I was supposed to take my MCAT, and then the conference just slammed me. And I was like, okay, I'm not taking the MCAT at the end of April. So I took it at the end of May. I thought I bombed it, but it worked out okay. I got in the mid-teens, and then, but I thought I had bombed it, so I delayed my writing my apps a little bit, and then I got my score back in June, and I was like, oh, I didn't bomb it entirely. I can apply to schools. I applied to like about 25 schools. Spent the entire summer writing secondaries, and yeah, senior year just kept going with all my commitments. Graduated a semester early. Surgery. Yeah, it was kind of wild. That's a whole other story for another time. But yeah, like I think the biggest things I think I got a bunch of interviews. My first acceptance was in October-ish. I was like at the current school I'm at, I was in the first round of acceptances, which was awesome. Because it took so much stress off my head, but it's also not really where I wanted to end up. Now that I'm here, like it's okay. I had wanted to stay at Michigan, obviously, because I really like Ann Arbor. So like obviously I was just kind of like continuing all my stuff. I was continuing working. I was continuing in the ER. I was continuing with research. Research I really put like a heavy foot towards because we had worked on a 5-year project, and my biggest, like I had a bunch of small publications and posters coming out of there, but the biggest, like I don't remember the word for it, but like the grand like finale type thing was this paper that we had been working on for like 5 years or 4 years, or the lab had been working on it like for 4 or 5 years. Basically, when my mentor had started her PhD thesis, and I joined in and I was like the most undergrads had left within a year within the lab. I was the only one who had stayed for like 3 years. So I like grinded out all the data sets with my mentor, helped write half the paper, and so now that paper is in submission. The thing is so my PI for that lab was like really well known. I actually got really, really, really lucky with that lab. Like I count my blessings every day that I got that lab hit me back. They actually rejected me at first, which was the funny part, and they hit me back up 2 months later and like, hey, are you still interested? And I was like, yeah, definitely. So that was really cool. I also got to do surgery on rats in that lab, and that actually helped. I talked about that in my interviews because I like working with my hands. And so yeah, I think the big things were for me, my little, like, obviously if you haven't like picked it up by now, my little niche was research. I really like doing research. I published a few case studies out of the ER I worked at. Awesome staff there. I really liked working in the ER. And what else? Yeah, when I came to interviews, I think the whole theme was just about growth and balance, because I talked about my like my like adversity through like health, like having health issues while taking orgo and biochem. I ended up taking some higher level biochem courses to just make sure I understood it, and I did well in those, and then they were like, oh, okay, he's got it. And so yeah, I interviewed at about 4 or 5 schools. I actually got accepted to every single school I interviewed, because as long as you like appeal to, and I can like obviously help you through with interviews when you get to there, but I'm more of a talker when I'm not 1 a.m. exhausted, right? So interviews were where I really shined, which was awesome. It was just hard to get the interviews, I think. But yeah, lots of hours, lots of, unfortunately, sleepless nights. I don't think I would recommend people to not take a gap year. I would honestly say taking a gap year is better for you in the long term, mental health wise, and you get a lot of schools like even Michigan won't even really look at your app all that much if you don't take a couple of gap years, unless you did something incredible. Just because a lot of schools are, they like students who are more mature or non-trad, just because that they've thought about it and they're serious about it. So I knew I wanted to do medicine forever, so I just was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna get through it so I can become a doctor and do the stuff I actually want to do. I don't like school. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think. I mean, obviously I could give you a breakdown on the hours, but that's a whole other thing. I graduated a semester early. I took my last semester to just chill. I just did research and ER for the money at that point, and I traveled a lot in the last semester because I graduated early. And now we're here. think I should probably wrap it up, eh? Trying to think, how many hours did I have in everything? I'm tempted to almost pull up my AMC application together. Oh, you'll get interviews. Don't worry, Black Cat. Just keep working at it. A lot of, I think, like I'm at a pretty decent med school, I would say, arguably. And a lot of the people who are here had like, either had like a lot more experience than me or had like way less experience than me. And I think it's just a lot more about how you connect with that med school more so. It's okay. 2 is not planned, it happens, right? It means that you are looking like, how do I want to put it? I'm like super tired, so I apologize. But like, all it means is that you know where areas you could do better on and you're working on it. And the fact that you're persisting, that's the most important part, right? I think the whole thing with this is persistence. I have a lot of friends who had very similar stats as me and didn't get anywhere. And I have friends who are like 520 plus MCAT, 4.0 GPA, research out the wazoo, like you know, model applicants, and they still haven't gotten in, and they've taken gap years. And the whole system is just very, you know, I think the system rewards folks who are passionate and persistent. I think as long as you're sticking with it, you got it. You'll be all right. I like to think if I can do it, most people who actually are passionate about it and aren't in it just for the money and clout can do it. I think that's the big thing. I think that's what med schools have been focusing on, and I really appreciate that admissions committees are getting better about that. It's trying to weed out folks who are just in medicine for money and clout. Where the money is like for the pennies. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But, you know, I still got my research hours. Honestly, I just wanted to see a lot of projects out, to be honest with you, with that. Especially that research project, because that's the thing I'm like maybe most proud of. I think the things I'm most proud of from undergrad are the pre-med community. Being the president of that pre-med club was probably one of my favorite things ever. And then the research in ER, 100%. I learned way more in the emergency room that I still use in med school now than I ever did in any class in undergrad. I promise you. Real life rewards way more, at least for most folks. Real life work rewards way more in terms of educational experience than school ever will, in my opinion. Mostly. Obviously, you need baseline knowledge, but that's a whole other debate. No problem, Black Cat. I think I will have to call it a night, but you know, I'm always around in the Discord. I'm literally basically in the Discord whenever I'm not studying, or if I'm like just between sets on a workout. That's usually when I open up Discord. I don't think you need to worry about, like, obviously worry about hours, but I think worry about quality over quantity. I think writing good essays helps more than even having like good hours, but definitely do your best to get all the hours, right? Don't shoot yourself in the foot either by whatchamacallit, not giving yourself a chance, like, because they use screeners, and they'll like cut out applicants as well, like with those screeners, which is really unfortunate that some schools will do that, but like better safe than sorry, right? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Feel free to reach out on the Discord if you ever have any questions for me, or if you want more hourly breakdowns or part of my apps or advice. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate the support as always. Join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord. Say hi in the Discord if you're in the Discord. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day and a great night, everybody. And make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves.